Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tackling a topic that has generated just a massive amount of buzz, a fair bit of confusion, and let's be totally honest, a whole lot of panic across the web. We're talking about Google's new generative AI search features. If you manage a website, create content, or care at all about how people find your digital front door, you've probably been absolutely bombarded with advice on how to survive this new AI era. But we're here to cut through all that noise. We're going to demystify exactly what Google's generative AI search requirements actually are, and we're leaning directly on their official, newly updated documentation to do it. By the end of this explainer, we're going to replace that panic with actionable clarity, so you can get right back to what actually matters. Here's our roadmap for today. First, Google Search Essentials. Second, AI enters the chat. Third, optimizing for AI search. Fourth, myth-busting AI SEO hacks. And finally, ready for AI agents? Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Google Search Essentials, the unchanging foundation.
So, despite all those dramatic headlines claiming traditional SEO is dead, the foundational rules really haven't changed. To even be eligible to appear on Google, whether that's a classic blue link or a shiny new AI overview, your content has to pass three main pillars outlined in the Google Search Essentials. First up, technical requirements. This is basically the bare minimum Google needs to actually show a web page. Frankly, most sites pass this without even trying. Second, we have spam policies. These detail the manipulative behaviors and tactics that will absolutely get you ranked lower or completely omitted. And third, the key best practices. This is where you focus on creating helpful, reliable, people-first content, using logical words, and making sure your links are crawlable. Think of this as the bedrock that literally everything else is built upon.
And that brings us to a really crucial reality check straight from Google's own documentation. Quote, "It doesn't cost any money to appear in Google search results no matter what anyone tries to tell you." End quote. It is so important to keep this in mind. There is no secret paid toll booth for AI search visibility. It all comes right back to whether your page meets the requirements and actually serves the user.
Section 2, AI enters the chat, the evolution of search.
Okay, so user preferences are rapidly evolving, and people are increasingly turning to generative AI experiences. But this isn't just some shiny new feature, it's a real evolution of how people interact with the web. Let's clear up some jargon right off the bat, though. You might have seen acronyms like AEO, which stands for Answer Engine Optimization, or GEO for Generative Engine Optimization, floating around the internet. They're usually pushed by gurus trying to sell you a brand new expensive course. But Google's stance on this is completely definitive. From their perspective, optimizing for generative AI search is simply optimizing for the search experience. Ultimately, it's still just SEO. You don't need a brand new acronym. You just need to understand how the AI retrieves your existing content. To really understand that retrieval process, we have to look at RAG, or Retrieval-Augmented Generation. You'll also hear this called grounding. Google uses this technique to drastically improve the quality, accuracy, and freshness of its AI responses. So instead of the AI just making up an answer out of thin air from its training data, it relies on Google's core search ranking systems to fetch relevant, up-to-date web pages from the existing search index. The AI then reviews that specific retrieved information to generate a reliable response. And here's the kicker. It shows prominent, clickable links to the web pages that supported its answer. That means if your SEO is strong, your page is exactly what the AI uses to ground itself.
Another truly fascinating mechanism here is query fanout. When a user asks a complex question, the AI model generates a set of concurrent, related queries to request more information. For instance, if you search how to fix a lawn that's full of weeds, the AI might trigger simultaneous fanout queries for things like best herbicides for lawns, remove weeds without chemicals, and how to prevent weeds in lawn. It gathers search results from all those different angles at lightning speed to build one single, comprehensive answer for the user.
Section 3, Optimizing for AI search, what Google actually wants.
Knowing how RAG and query fanout work behind the scenes, what does Google really want from you in this new era? Well, it essentially boils down to the difference between commodity and non-commodity content. Commodity content is something like 7 tips for first-time homebuyers. It's common knowledge. Literally, anyone could write it. And more importantly, a generative AI bot can easily produce it without any help from you. But non-commodity content, like an article titled "Why We Waived the Inspection and Saved Money, a Look Inside the Sewer Line," now that provides a unique,
expert, first-hand experience. Google's AI systems are specifically looking for those unique human viewpoints that really stand out from the ordinary. You absolutely have to bring your personal, in-depth experience to the table.
So when we break optimization down into actionable steps, it looks remarkably familiar. Provide that unique point of view. Write for human readers. Organize your text with clear headings and paragraphs so an actual person can easily follow along. Add high-quality images and video because generative AI search pulls these in too, giving you way more opportunities to be seen. And finally, maintain a clear technical structure. Make sure your site is crawlable. You don't have to stress about absolutely perfect semantic HTML. The web is a messy place, and Google can handle it, but do structure it well enough for screen readers and human readability. Honestly, if you're doing all this, you're already optimizing for AI.
Section 4, Myth-Busting AI SEO Hacks, Internet Rumors versus Reality. As AI search has evolved, so have the wild theories and panic-inducing hacks circulating online. Let's do some rapid-fire myth-busting. First burning question, do I need to create special files like an llms.txt file or add new specific AI markup to my site so the machines can read it? I mean, gurus are out there telling people this is the new standard. And the official answer from Google is a definitive no. You do not need to create new machine-readable files, special AI text files, or Markdown to appear in generative AI search. While Google can absolutely crawl and index many kinds of files beyond just HTML, having a special llms.txt file doesn't mean it gets treated in any special or preferential way. Just stick to your standard, well-structured formats. Okay, here's another incredibly pervasive rumor that has people working overtime. Should I be chunking my content into tiny, specific, bite-sized pieces so the AI can comprehend it better? Again, no way. There is absolutely zero requirement to break your content into tiny pieces for AI. Google's systems are highly sophisticated. They understand the nuance of multiple topics across the single page and can pull exactly the relevant piece to show a user. There's no magic page length. Whether it's a long deep dive or a short summary, write and structure it for your human audience, not for an algorithm. All right, one more big one. Do I need to go back and rewrite my old content to include every possible long-tail keyword variation so the AI doesn't accidentally miss me? No, you really don't. Today's AI systems use semantic search. This means they understand the concept behind a query, not just the exact letters someone typed into the search bar. They'll connect users with your content even if you don't use the precise exact much words the user searched for. So you definitely don't need to force unnatural robotic keyword variations into your text just to capture every possible query. Section 5, Ready for AI Agents. Looking forward. Having busted those myths, let's look to the future. In their documentation, Google mentions the next frontier of search technology, and it's definitely something you should at least have on your radar. We're talking about AI agents. So what exactly are they? Well, Google defines them as autonomous systems that perform actual tasks on behalf of people. Think of a system that can autonomously book a dinner reservation for you, compare really detailed product specifications, or even manage customer service chats. These agents take many forms, like browser agents that access your website directly to gather the data needed to complete a user's task. If this kind of interaction is relevant to your business and you happen to have a little extra time to prepare, there are steps you can take right now. Start by reviewing agent-friendly website best practices. Ensure your site's DOM structure, which is essentially the underlying code map of your page, is super clean, because that's exactly what these browser agents will be inspecting. Also, keep an eye on emerging standards like the Universal Commerce Protocol, or UCP. Eventually, that protocol will allow search agents to execute complex purchases directly on your site. Pretty wild, right? Ultimately, Google's advice cuts through all the complex technology we've discussed today and really boils down to one guiding principle. You have to ask yourself, are you building a site to chase an algorithm, or are you creating a truly satisfying experience for a human visitor? If you focus your energy on providing unique, helpful, and satisfying content for the actual humans visiting your site, well, the AI systems are already perfectly designed to find you.